All right, now we are on the opposite door side or driver's side of the coach. I have got the third basement door open and I've got the totes out with the sewage hoses and water hoses. And then I also have the wet bay open. So we are going to walk through what you need to set up the coach and how to hook up your sewage hose, how to hook up your water hoses, how to fill your water tank from this side if you're already hooked up to city water before you hit the road and you want to make sure your tank's full. We can do all of that right here from this bay. So I'm going to walk you through those steps and should be good to go. So let's get into it. All right, we're going to start here at the totes. I call the yellow lid tote, contains your sewer hoses, your stinky slinky, everything you need to hook up to drain gray and black water from the coach. And the black tote with attached lids is water supply. I've got a water hose in here, a nozzle, if you need it for anything, wash off bugs or anything like that. This big blue compartment right here, this big blue piece of equipment is a water filter. Don't worry about it. The coach is equipped with 2 filters here, and then it's got a filter inside on the fridge for drinking water and things and ice in there. So you don't really need to mess with this one right now. The filters have been on back order for a little bit, so I haven't been able to get them replaced. But first thing I want to show you, let's talk water supply, getting it hooked up. This bad boy right here. This whip is nice to have, okay? This is a pressure regulator. You're going to notice on here a plus and a minus. When you hook this up to the faucet, which would be right there, I'm going to hook up this brass end to that faucet, okay? And then gives you a little bit of whip. Sometimes those are hard to get to and doesn't screw on that well. So this end connects to the coach. You'll notice it's a quick connect. Okay. Your hose is attached to the coach and it's got the other quick connect. Okay. Let's set this right here. I'm going to show you hose reel. It says retract and release. So you want to release it. So you're simply just going to hold a little bit of tension and push this button and the hose will come right out. Right now that's not going to work because, like I said, we're changing the batteries, the house batteries in the bus to brand new ones, and we've got it all disconnected right now. But it's electronic. Press this and this reel right there is going to unwind and your hose is going to come out. You got like 25 feet in there. So take that to meet here, connect it to this end, and this is just going to sit out here. And when you turn on the water, this pressure regulator is going to go up, meet where it needs to be. All motorhomes do not like to have anything above about 50 psi of water. It's just PEX fittings. It's always shaking and rattling, driving down the road. So you always want to make sure you're at 50. So if you're higher, just small knobs. Toolbox right there, screwdriver in there, small turns, and you'll see it kind of go down. Get it to right around 50. That's where you want to be. Okay? And if it's too low, you can turn it up to get more water pressure. But you always want to use pressure regulator. So we're going to put that in here. And we're going to assume we got our water hooked up. You're going to notice, I mean, there is a light, but there's a knob right here. Pretty self-explanatory. Hook up city fill freshwater tank. Fill freshwater tank, sorry. So up and down. If you're hooked up to city water and you're just leaving it on, up and down. If you're going to fill your fresh water tank, you turn it, and it's going to fill your fresh water tank based on being hooked up to this hose. And you can come right over here and press this button, and it will tell you 1 to 100%, 100% full, turn it back to city fill. Always. The water pump will not operate when it's not hooked up this way. So after you fill the tank, turn it back to city fill. Mandatory. Or you're not going to have any water pressure. You call me, say what's going on. Right over here, this is your black tank washout. Okay? You got a little braided hose on here with the hose bib. So you can take this hose right here, hook it up to the faucet, but you'll have to unhook your regulator because you want full pressure, or hook it up to another spigot if one's available. I mean, I also keep a splitter in here if you want to use the splitter, so you can have both. But you're going to take that, you're going to run it right into this braided hose. As soon as you turn the water on, it will shoot water into the black tank. There's a jet in there that just sprays and sprays and sprays, cleans the walls off, makes it look nice, and gets it really good and clean. My personal preference is I usually do a couple of flushes every time I empty the tank, just to make sure no smell comes through. There's P-traps, everything's solid on the inside. This thing never has any smells, but I'm a little OCD. I would say every other tank dump, go ahead and flush it. Just make sure any toilet paper that's sticking to the bottom or poop sticking to the bottom comes out good, and you don't have to worry about it. You have to shut the water off to stop that. But you'll notice right here also, sewage holding tank, wastewater holding tank. Wastewater is sinks, shower, washing machine, dishwasher, all that good stuff. Always dump sewage first, wastewater second. The reason is wastewater is just soapy water. It cleans the hose out, okay? Now you can also see your tank levels right here, okay? So when your black tank, when you're flushing it, you're gonna close it. You can see here, gets to like 60%. Pull this valve out, pretty simple. Just pull it straight out. I don't have it hooked up, so we don't wanna do that. But pull this out and it'll dump. You can leave this running while this is open and it just continue to flush water. Sometimes it doesn't get anything sticking, so sometimes I close it, get some water in there, and then pull it. And then after I get the black tank done, then I will flush the gray tank. Now, let's talk gray wastewater open when you're parked. I am a wastewater open when you're parked. Some people don't like that. It's completely up to you. You've got 60 gallons of wastewater and 40 gallons of sewage. So if you're showering or doing dishes, that can fill up kind of quick. So I just leave the gray open and then I close it when I go to dump the black tank. Also another reason why I flush the black tank a lot, because I usually don't have a ton of gray water. But, you know, you can do it either way. Just make sure when you're traveling down the road, they're both closed. Okay? Now, I'm going to unhook this because I want to show you right here. There's a valve, and that goes to this PVC. That opens the dump tank. Okay? If you look right under here, right there, that's where you're going to hook up your gray tank, or your sewage system. So, and what you're going to do is you're going to take this clear little 90 right here, and see these levers, locking levers? It will just lock right onto there. So I'm going to go to where I can see it again. There it is. Don't leave this on. All right. And then you'll hook up your sewage hose right to that. You'll run it to your dump spot. This port goes into the ground. This hooks up to the coach. And if you need fall, right there, you can lay the hose on that, and that will give you the right amount of fall if you're uphill, or if this sometimes ends up higher and a nice little concrete pad, depending on the park, it may be higher or level. You want to raise that hose up. So again, the clear attachment, you'll just raise the hose up, run it all the way, start with high end there, low end ends there, everything runs downhill. But you always want to make sure when you're traveling, and it's good to wear gloves with this if you got some gloves. I try to always keep some rubber gloves in here, but they don't always stay. Always unhook this. Because if you hit a rock or something flies up, it can shatter this, and then you got to buy a new one. Got to find someplace to buy it. No fun. But that goes back in there. All right, that should give you the pretty down and dirty, easy hookup of the wet bay area, the sewage hose, the water hose, flushing the black tank. Nothing is difficult. Turn around here, get out of the sun. None of it's that difficult. It just takes doing it once or twice, watching this video, and that definitely helps. I also try to do a complete hookup video on every unit. I don't have a delivery scheduled for this one right now, so there won't be any of those. But as soon as I get one, I will record myself hooking the whole thing up, leveling it off, and we will get that video uploaded. But there is your power. We talked about power. There's your water and sewage hookup on the 2018 Aspire by Entegra. Again, don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions. Enjoy your trip.